We hear you, and my next guest is here to help you. A Studio 5 viewer recently wrote in asking, with the recent election, there are so many hurting. My own family is feeling divided, and my heart is breaking. How can we heal hearts within the family? Studio 5 relationship contributor Dr. Matt Townsend is sharing 4 essential principles to help families reconnect, especially as we enter the holiday season. Welcome, Dr. Matt.
Good to be here, Dalen.
You know what, this feels so needed right now, and I think especially with the tension that's going on, we sometimes forget it can happen within families.
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying the goal is to heal, and heal being that key word.
Yep, and you got to heal from the inside out, right? And you got to start to heal wherever you are. So you may not be able to heal all of the offenders, but you can start to heal yourself. And this can be bigger than politics. This could be, I don't know, like the holy war in football.
Oh.
This could be a lot of things that have divided us. And it is interesting how something that's not as important as family becomes so seemingly bigger than family. So we're going to show you how to heal and get back to the real. Okay,
and to help us with that goal, you've actually created an acronym for HEAL. What does H stand for?
H stands for Humanize, don't demonize. Okay, so what we did in the run-up to the division is we demonized each other. We kind of tried to point out each other as an enemy instead of as our friend. And so the dilemma with humanizing is it's the hardest thing to do, but it's the only way to keep a family alive. Margaret Mead is an anthropologist, and one of her students once asked her, what was the beginning of civilization? What was the key to civilization, where it turned? And she held up a femur bone, and it was a broken femur bone. And she said, a broken femur bone thousands and thousands of years ago would have been the death of somebody. But a healed femur bone meant that somebody took care of that person.
Oh, wow.
Somebody watched after that person, somebody fed that person and took care of the person. So if we want to get back to civilization and being civilized, we got to quit seeing each other as enemies, because in the end, the only people that will take care of you will be the family. So it might be a powerful thing to like maybe bring that up around Thanksgiving, that we're here to heal, we're here to be here for each other. And one of the great ways to start humanizing another person is to learn their stories. One of the things you could do maybe around the table is, instead of just asking what everyone's thankful for, because someone will be like, that election, I'm so thankful for that, and then the other people will be like, I hate you. And then it'll start the fight. Maybe what you could just ask is, one thing that you've really had, a trial you've had the last few years that you've been able to start to overcome. And have everybody then go around the table and share their trials, so that sitting at the Thanksgiving table is the entire family, and we finally get to hear some of their hard stories. And that might spark a little more humanity instead of a lot of competition.
Oh, I actually love that. I think being willing to be vulnerable, that encourages vulnerability from other people, which also brings a sense of trust.
Yeah, exactly.
That I think that you don't get unless you take the chance to be vulnerable with those people that you love.
That's exactly right.
That's a great way. I think humanizing each other.
And it's contagious.
It's contagious.
The minute we start doing it, then everyone we literally turn off our fight or flight response, and then we can turn on kind of our bonding response.
Yeah, powerful. And I wish, and like you're saying, we need to do it outside of the family, but why not start with the inside of the family? Okay, what does E in HEAL stand for?
E is we're going to expand our self-awareness. So the only way you can ever improve anything is with self-awareness. You can't fix something you're not aware of. And there's this effect out there, we've talked about it on the show before, it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect is where people with really low information or knowledge have actually a confidence that's way higher than their knowledge should permit. And so the Dunning-Kruger effect means those that know the least tend to be the most confident, and the ones that know the most tend to act the least confident. And so, and you see that going on with a lot, like armchair quarterbacking, you see it in politics, everyone has an opinion. So the only way to kind of shake the Dunning-Kruger effect is to be curious and go gather some more data. So some things we could get curious about, and this is what you might want to do yourself, because you can't make everyone else do this, is why don't you just make a list of everything you bring to the family. Okay, go make a list of all the positive things you bring to the family and a list of some of the negative things that you want to change that you bring.
Okay.
Kind of your reactivity, your honoriness, whatever it is, so that you're starting to become aware of that. Another one is go get some examples in your life where you've been overly confident. Where did you bring way more confidence and then later you found out you were wrong? and go archive those examples in your head so that your brain will turn on a little bit more awareness to know I need to kind of slow the game down a little bit, right? Another thing you could do is you could ask everyone to do this. Could everyone bring a list of 20 things that we love about each other?
Oh, I love that.
And we could go around and like make a big list, and maybe everyone could walk around and fill out a form for each person at the dinner, and we can just talk about things we love about them. And then that way it forces us to actually humanize, but also see them in a bigger frame of reference instead of everybody just seeing the negative so easily.
And like you said before, it's contagious. When you feel like someone appreciates something about you, you automatically appreciate something about them. And it opens up that pathway of wanting to connect.
That's right.
It's so smart.
In fact, that is the A of getting to healing, is appreciate the given gifts. We may not love everything about anybody, right? But they do bring a lot of good stuff. And so instead of just focusing on what they don't give us, we can focus on the gifts that we are given. A lot of us, the power is in appreciating what you are given. This is the happiest people on earth. Appreciate what they've received instead of being mad about what they didn't get or what they were expecting to get. So we want to focus on what we've actually been given. And it might be good to like think back, this person that you're in a struggle with, what are 5 things over the last 10 years that they have brought to you that are positive, that are good? And then maybe start just being really grateful for those 5 things instead of the last year of politics or football.
And finally, L, live your highest ideals.
We have a ton of values and principles, and what most people are really upset about lately are just a couple of them. But the only way out of the 2 that we don't like about each other is to go back to the other 50 that we have. So go live all of your other ideals, and if everybody would just go back and make a list of what you do value and what your ideals are, and then just see if did I let myself down? Did I break any of my own principles in the last year? And that'll create some awareness. And then, but if you do this by yourself, you'll start to change the spirit in you. And when you change the feeling and the spirit in you, you'll change the spirit in others. It's contagious.
It's contagious. I think that's the theme, is just opening your heart and being willing to heal.
Yeah, exactly.
So good, Matt. Tell us about your Becoming One program.
In fact, it's a lot like this. I have people call in, or they're on Zoom with us. And they have access to all of my classes and a lot of our workshops and stuff. But then what they get to do is ask questions. And then I coach them real time in front of everybody. And everybody can learn from each other in how to become one. Become one in your marriage, become one with your God, become one with yourself, become one with your coworkers, your parole officer, Dalen. Whatever you've got.
Whoever it is, Dr. Matt's going to coach you through it.
We're not judging any of it.
That's so good. Thanks so much, Matt.
Thanks, Dave.